Okay, people, two easy peasy do-it-yourself garden trellises. Fan type, we're going to have 3 pieces. Random widths, heights out of scrap wood. So we have some scrap wood lying around, pressure treated. Of course, I ran it through a table saw. Maybe you could get some thin pieces at your big box store if you don't have a table saw. Save yourself a couple bucks next time you're at the garden center. These are simple, been making them for years. I've forged bands or straps for these at the bottom. In the past, you could use, some kind of pipe strapping or something perforated with holes in it. For these simple ones, I'm just going to do 4 screws, 2 on each side, and some glue. So here's the height of these, just random height, scrap wood, like I said, pressure treated, 42 inches. The strips are 1/2 by 1. Okay, 1-inch strips. They can really be anything you want. Something with a little bit of meat to them. You don't want to break when you spread them out. And yeah, on my compound miter saw, I started a bevel on here, 60 degrees on each side. And I'm going to take my hatchet, tomahawk here later, and I'm just going to chop this down to a little point on both sides. No biggie there, just to easily get me in the ground. I measured up 8 inches. Just to, random height, enough to get. Most people's gardens have, soft soil. So, pre-drill a couple holes. Got a drill bit here with a countersink bit in it. Got them together. I'm going to put one close to the top, that 8 inches. And we'll put one randomly down this end. This should be a 15-minute build for you. Now, if you go bigger, as in taller, I think I said these are 42 inches. If you go 5 foot, 6 foot, instead of 3, you go to 4 strips, 5 strips, and, fan them out like that. As many as you want, as high as you're going to go. Maybe if you're going, tall, 7 foot, 8 foot, maybe you do a little thicker strips. You don't need them as thin. You want it to be a little more sturdier, chunkier, what have you. If you have some nice cedar, that of course would be nice. Or redwood, which I haven't seen or used in many years. Unless you're out west, it might be a little easier to come by that redwood. Here on the East Coast, not so much. You can find cedar. I guess that would be a special order. Small outdoor type deck screws. Like I said, we were 1/2 inch. I got these are 1.25 inches. We got some water resistant outdoor type Tri-Bond glue. Good stuff. Don't go past your 8-inch mark with the glue. Just a bead of glue there. Like I said, quick, simple, dimple. Get my bit back. Yeah, maybe these screws are a little too long. Didn't think they were going to go quite to the other side. So what we're going to do, I'm going to hold off on driving them all the way. That's all right, that'll give you a little extra grip. Shortest outdoor screws I have. Back these out of here for now, because they're sticking to the bottom piece. We flip it over, a little more glue. The glue is the key, people. The glue is the key. Glue is your friend. Ta-da-da-da-da. Ta-da-da-da. I'm not even spending a whole lot of time in lining them up perfectly. 2 simple garden trellises that are pressure treated. I guess you could use to coat them a little bit. Won't hurt nobody. If you want them to last a little longer. Nope, that one's split. I'm going to have to fix that one. That's why I say get them a little thicker maybe sometimes, or definitely use a set screw. Use a nail gun. I've done that. You have some galvanized nails. We're going to clamp that. We'll repair that. We'll go with it and use it instead of another one. Put these screws back in on the other side. I don't like the fact that this bit keeps falling out. It's getting a little aggravating. I have a method for taking care of that. To address it. Oh. These are separating a little bit. Guess maybe I'm rushing a little bit. We're going to correct ourselves here. We'll get a clamp here. Get a little clamp here. There we go. Little assist when you need it. $15-minute build. Hopefully 2-minute video. Let the glue dry. One more step, we'll be pretty much done. Small garden trellis made out of scrap wood. Glue's dry. Next day. So what I decided to do that I was speaking about is I just took some of this pipe strap. I just figured I'd do a little strap on there just to make sure it didn't blow up when I try to spread it. Again, if you, I'll show you how I did that. Very simple. Just come up around your 8-inch mark. Bend it around. Little screw. Like I said, if you got a nice redwood or cedar, you could do this maybe out of copper. Build one that lasts you a lifetime. These are kind of a couple season throwaways to me. A pair of snips, cut that off. We'll get a little screw in the back. So, again, pre-cut, random width, small garden trellis. I just picked 12 inches wide for the top. You know, maybe it holds up a small rose bush or something that we have here. A couple things. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my brad nailer. You don't have a brad nailer, air gun, you could pre-drill screw them. 1 inch brad nails. You can get galvanized ones. Hold up a little stronger. I'm kind of counting on the glue. So I got 12 inches, 7 inches, just kind of random. Just pick the number and find our center. A little mark. No problem there. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Gonna put a little glue on the center one. A couple inches down. Now I'm working a little backwards here so the camera stays in sight. Center that up. Spread that out like so. No need to cut the ends. If you want to cut them later, that's fine. If you want to neaten them up or something, pretty them up. I'll finish this up and I'll get back to my yard work. Like I said, this is a 15-minute build. That's it. Quick, easy little garden trellis. You have a nice vertical one here that you could use to push down. Sometimes on the bigger ones, I like to put a little piece of wood in the back for a little foot pedal maybe to push it in. You know, maybe something like this so you can put your foot in, kind of push it down. No need for these little ones for that. Like I said, usually everybody's garden have pretty much soft dirt. Not a big issue. Pushing these in, even if you had to tap on the center one a little bit to get it down. Like I said earlier, I did start these here on a little angle. This might shave it down a little bit. You want to use a draw knife, put it back in a saw, jigsaw, handsaw. I just like to take out my tomahawk once in a while. Makes me feel good without chopping up my bench too much. Yeah. Let's give it a little bit of that spiky attitude, help you out a little bit. Yeah, not bad. Little handwork. Cute, simple. You can make these any size. Scrap wood, you know, just scale them up like I said. If you're going to go taller, you might want to do 4 or 5 slots. You know, you can make these decorative and maybe use a scroll saw or something to round these tops decorative, or these, or you could cut them off a little bit here. Yeah, I'm going to coat these up. That's a couple seasons out there, I guess. Okay, folks. Good job.